Ladies and gentlemen, time and time again, for weeks, if not months on end at this point, I have been discussing the descending wedge you can see on the screen here in yellow that encompassed the Bitcoin price action from November all up until just earlier today. In yesterday's video, I discussed the fact that we'd seen a momentum indicator breakout, but the wedge itself was not quite breaking. We had not seen volume flow in, and I said this was a critical moment. I said, watch out. If this fails, the crash will continue. That was the title of the video yesterday, and luckily, the crash did not continue because the wedge breakout did not fail, just like what I said yesterday. We saw the momentum indicator, we saw the RSI shift to the upside, and we had a window of opportunity for Bitcoin to follow through on the price chart. It looks like it is doing that right now, but the question is this a trap or is this an actual move? Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Before we get into it today, guys, we have an exchange here that has never been hacked before in 3.5 years of being on the market. That is global non-KYC. You can sign up from anywhere in the world and use this exchange without a VPN. And furthermore, with my referral link down below, you can get a 15% trading fee discount attached to your account for life, as well as $8,000 plus USDT in trading rewards added to your account as trading bonuses for signing up with my referral link down below. This is big stuff here. It's an excellent deal. I reached out to them for partnership. They did not reach out to me. I don't get paid by them. The only thing I get is a referral link. And if you want all those things I just mentioned, which you should, trust me, I've done the scouting of the market, you can use my link down below to sign up. It takes 30 seconds and you'll get those rewards and bonuses and you'll help out the channel. I appreciate that, guys. Let's get into the content. My general theory that a lot of people slept on, a lot of people ignored, was that basically Bitcoin was seeing a pattern-based consolidation / correction, very similar to what it was seeing back here in 2024. We had an 8-month-long structure in 2024, massive descending channel formation, possibly some of the most boring price action we've ever seen on Bitcoin, followed by a breakout. And I said that although that was very boring, although it was technically a downwards trend because we were seeing higher highs and higher lows, it was happening within a bullish market pattern, a pattern of bearish exhaustion, and hence it wasn't actually inherently bearish, even though it looked like it was. I'm making the same case here. I was making the same case here. Even though this looks like a bearish pattern, even though it looks like we've seen a big double top formation with a breakdown, and we're seeing all this negative stuff with tariffs, and technically we're in a downwards trend here, it's not actually bearish because even though there is a medium-term downwards trend, it's actually a massive macro bullish pattern within a larger macro upwards trend. And so until it actually broke downwards, if it was going to do so, we wouldn't be bearish, right? And that was the case I was making, and that case seems to be proven true today with this breakout. We've finally seen, after a few days of lurking around, after the momentum indicator broke out on the RSI, we've finally seen some volume flow in, and we've seen a breakout here on the price chart. Now, look, it's not much volume, and the volume hasn't really shown up too significantly on the daily chart, and that kind of tells us it is a bit of a low volume breakout, all things considered, but we have to remember that it is Easter. It's Easter weekend in Australia. Here it's Monday, but obviously in the US it's still Sunday, Easter Sunday, and we can't really expect high volume on holidays like that, especially on weekends. So maybe when the US market opens soon, we will see if that volume really follows through. However, even though it has been pretty low volume, all things considered with the daily chart, I do see this as a clear breakout because obviously on the hourly chart, we have seen a clear significant spike in volume with a move upwards around $3,000 US. It would be very weird if that was to roll over completely. The only thing I can see that could potentially pull that down is some unexpected news with the market open. There's actually no real macroeconomic events coming up, so nothing really to squash this move. There's no big CPI or FOMC coming out. The next big macroeconomic news is going to be, sorry for stuttering, is going to be unemployment on the 1st of May and PPI on the 31st of April. So still like 10 days away from any major macroeconomic news. So I don't really see what could bring this down other than some unexpected maybe geopolitical news or news of the tariffs. That could definitely squander this, but that's all unpredictable. So right now from a price chart perspective, this is looking pretty solid. It's not just looking solid from a Bitcoin perspective. It's looking solid from a total cryptocurrency market cap perspective. Basically everything we talked about with Bitcoin just then applies to the total cryptocurrency market cap chart. We've seen a macro breakout with a descending wedge structure, with a momentum shift to the upside from the RSI. All of that holds true and consistent. So it's not just a Bitcoin thing, it's a broader market thing. And actually getting a bit more in depth here and backing it up even further with something you'll find highly relevant if you know what it is. the DXY is broken down while this is happening. So that's a very good sign, okay? The DXY is the strength of the US dollar in a chart format, essentially. And when it goes downwards, that's great for markets. The US dollar weakening in comparison to other currencies is great for markets because generally it represents, well, generally speaking, obviously not right now, but generally representing quantitative easing, which means money's coming into markets, money's being printed and flowing straight into assets. And so the DXY breaking down here from a major level of support that's been holding basically since mid-2022, that's a very, very good sign. It's very good that it's happening right now with this Bitcoin breakout. It ensures us to some degree that what's happening on Bitcoin isn't just crypto isolated. It's actually a broader market thing, and perhaps we'll see some relief on the S&P 500 as well due to that. And I think the DXY supports that argument relatively well. It's important to note that even though I'm saying all of this, it is still early days. We haven't even closed a daily candle yet. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves. It's not like it's time to dive straight into loans from the bank to buy Bitcoin. That's certainly not what I'm saying. In fact, I wouldn't even be buying here personally. And the reason being simply is because what I just said, we haven't seen the US markets react to this. We haven't seen the news of a new week. We have not even seen a daily candle close. But more importantly, we haven't actually seen a critical level that I'm watching break yet either. And that is the Gaussian channel on the daily chart. You can look at the Gaussian channel center line, which I just brought up here, which, basically we saw 3 weeks of rejections from that Gaussian channel center line, which actually eventually led to the breakdown on Bitcoin. That level's not broken on a daily candle yet. And until that happens, I'm not going to be super, super confident. Another level I'm looking at, which I want to be seeing broken, is this white line right here. In fact, I'll make it blue so you can see it. That line's very important because that line, if we remove everything else just for a second so you can see it very, very clearly. Let's just remove all this unnecessary stuff here. That blue line is very important because if we zoom back on the Bitcoin price chart, we can see it stems from the 2021 all-time highs, and we can see it also basically was the basis of macro support on Bitcoin for months until this breakdown initially occurred. And hence, it is the bottom of our prior macro consolidation range, and I want to be seeing Bitcoin break back into that range, flip that level of support, and then consolidate. And at that point, I'd be very confident that Bitcoin would be attacking all-time highs quite aggressively. So I'm not sitting here and saying that this breakout is the be-all, end-all, everything's all good and we can dive back in. That's not what I'm saying at all. In fact, that's basically... couldn't be further from the truth, really. What I'm saying is it's a great step in the right direction. It's great to see the price chart move upwards, especially great to see the DXY moving downwards. But we've still got things to do. We still need to break that Gaussian channel on the daily chart. We still need to break into our prior macro consolidation range. By the time Bitcoin gets to about, let's say, 93,000, that's when I think Bitcoin is truly in the clear. And if this actually is a real breakout, if this is a true breakout and not a scam, not a trap, that shouldn't be an issue, and we shouldn't take too long to get there. So let's wait and see. Now, as per the volume profile, Bitcoin is basically going to be facing pretty intense resistance going into that mid to high $90,000 region. But in my view, if it gets above something like, again, 93,000, it's back within its prior range, and it should be able to squash that resistance quite quickly. If you're being super, super conservative, the POC on the volume profile is at around 96,000, and that would probably be your main target if you were acting conservatively here, because that is the major level of resistance that we can see on this entire screen here. So quite a few hurdles to jump, but definitely a great step in the right direction. And it's good to see that the boring price action is probably over. I'm cautious to say that it's over definitely. I want to see what happens with the market open tomorrow and a few more things. This definitely could still roll over, but at this point it's looking likely that Bitcoin has made a first step in the right direction. So that's good. That's good stuff, guys. I'll just mention before we end the video here, just for the people who are pessimistic about this, as long as Bitcoin remains above 70,000 US dollars, in my view, I do still view this as a macro bull market according to the 4-year cycle. $70,000 is important because it's the top of the prior macro price range. Staying above it would mean we're still in an upwards trend. We're still above that prior macro price range. And also the Gaussian channel on the weekly chart, a absolutely critical level, which is 100% success rate in the fact that if we enter it, we move through it. If we enter it from the downside, we move through it to the upside. If we enter it from the upside, we move through it to the downside. Okay, you move through this level, 100% accuracy rate. If we were to enter it and break below the center line, we would move through it. And the center line currently stands at 69,000, close to 70,000, bolstering that 70,000 region as a level of importance. And so basically, if we're talking pessimism, I think that as long as Bitcoin remains above 70,000, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. The same can't be said for altcoins. I think altcoins are doing terribly, but that's a different topic for another video. In fact, we discussed that a few days ago here. There it is. So you can check that out if you're interested. Guys, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hopefully we'll have our popcorn bags ready this week, and hopefully this is not a dud. So we have an exchange here that has never been hacked before in 3.5 years of being on the market. That is global non-KYC. You can sign up from anywhere in the world and use this exchange without a VPN. And furthermore, with my referral link down below, you can get a 15% trading fee discount attached to your account for life, as well as $8,000 plus USDT in trading rewards added to your account as trading bonuses for signing up with my referral link down below. This is big stuff here. It's an excellent deal. I reached out to them for partnership. They did not reach out to me. I don't get paid by them. The only thing I get is a referral link. And if you want all those things I just mentioned, which you should, trust me, I've done the scouting of the market, you can use my link down below to sign up. It takes 30 seconds and you'll get those rewards and bonuses and you'll help out the channel. I appreciate that, guys. Let's get into the content.